What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving Day. Let's go ahead and take a look at this news setup we got going on right here. We got red folder. So, no news outside of what we already know about Iran and all that fun jazz. Conflict's still going, use is still going, so price is going to be going down. That being the case, here's our chart from 9:30 to 9:30 yesterday to today. We had a huge break of structure right here. We went way below volume node and the SMA. We created a small amount of volume here, and I'm looking forward to seeing price revisit and then continue lower based on trend. 1 hour says we're in a downtrend. This volume profile says we're in a P shape, and the likelihood of it continuing up isn't really there, considering one, trend, and then two, we have a high volume node here. That price could easily come up, retest, fail, and continue lower. We are in price discovery as this is a fair value gap beyond this high volume node here. Potential target for volume, this right here. Very potential, very likely. The hope is that we see price continue in the direction of this volume node. But we have to confirm whether or not that's going to be the case or not. That would be the target I aim for, though. It would be. Alright, that being the case, what I want to do now I want to clean up the chart just a wee bit. After noting the points of control, we went as far back as this right here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then a volume node here has built up over time. And we can see quite clearly that this volume node is the current point of control. It is bouncing around. So, I mean, this makes the most sense. Let's go and actually refresh this because I think we have the picture fairly taken care of. So I'm just boom, 118, boom, 30-minute real quick, 9:30, 10:30. Okay. There it was. Go ahead and mark up the rest of this. for the rest of the points of control taken care of. I like the idea of going for the daily because it paints a better picture compared to session-based points of control. Gives me an overall goal to really look forward to taking care of. Alright. So we have 3 points of control. We have this one here, this one up here, and of course we have these two here. The general point of control is still right here. It has since risen. We have that right there. And depending on how far back I go, that changes to down here. So easy tug of war between these 2 points. The likelihood of it continuing lower is there, considering it's this that's acting as a magnet. It is not consolidating, though on the higher time frames I could see move down, move up, and it's just constantly back and forth, and these two are just acting as magnets to really pull price towards them. But going based on trend, we are currently in the downtrend. Even if we go to the 5-minute, we could pretty much take a look at this and go, yep, definitely a downtrend. Technically, price has already come back up to retest this, and that is the fall from it. But what we want to do is we want to wait patiently until market open. We all want to see exactly when this opens up and closes our opportunity to trade within here. So the end result is fairly simple. We have entry and then potentially a take profit from this. Looking at the MACD, we've been in retrace right here for a minute now. And the likelihood of price moving above the SMA right here and here is about the same. We have the opportunity to potentially trade right here, a long. But I won't know anything about that until after we see this market open. So, yeah, a little bit to wait. I think this will be a good trade for me to take because it gives me a runner-up time, and I won't be as late or reluctant to just enter. I feel like I got really lucky with the last two, though they were I was fairly confident in my ability to assert, okay, yes, we're going in this direction. Yes, we're late. Yes, we're doing this. Yes, we're doing this. I feel like we got lucky, and I kind of want to remove the aspect of it being a enter and literally fly by the seat of my pants type of gist. I'd like to be able to say I can enter a trade without having to rely on the luck of trend, if that makes any sense at all. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video and wait for market open. I'm gonna pay attention to this fairly closely. As time moves on, when we get to this line right here, I'll take this fixed VWAP, and then I'll take it and then move it over to further adjust for this. And I'll be looking at the volume nodes the whole time to see if we have a high volume node takeover, so we can further target exactly where we want to go for my final take profit, as well as my stop loss. All right, I will be right back. So I just wanted to unlist, um, literally just fill in what my thoughts are right now. So there are 2 points of control. We have a high volume node here, a volume node here. This is the general trends point of control. This is much greater than this right here is. There's a huge spread of volume right here, which is indicative that price might actually continue up above this. But there is one small hiccup, and that starts right here. Looking at this risk reward ratio, it's a little unrealistic. and I'm looking at possibility. Sorry, I want to do something like this right here. That's a 1 to 2, which is still worth taking. That is worth entirely to take. Um, but my bias is in the opposite direction. We've been in retrace for a while now. The only move up we've had since retrace has been a small one, and it hasn't quite closed the gap of this massive amount of volume right here. And I'm entirely inclined to think it'll come up to this, stop, and then return lower. I mean, it's already wicked up into it beyond this node right here, and it could continue lower. Market has just opened. We are now within this range. I'm looking at a long based on its current movements. The hour is still saying we're in a downtrend though, so I will enter when I see a rejection from this. Treating this as a travel away from, retest. We could see it continue lower, but I need to see it close, drop. Because my stop loss is going to be within this right here, potentially on this POC. I don't know, the likelihood of us taking a short is very low because there's a lot of liquidity right here that price could just come back up, knock out. Ours says we're on, oh no, 30 minutes says we're in an uptrend now. Ours says down, 30 minutes says up, 5 minutes says up. Trend reversal? I think so. Same story regardless though, it's got to cross this in order for us to continue higher. It either crosses this, closes above and continues, or it sits below this and we'll see a rejection on the 5. I just want to unload those thoughts because I feel as though I'm not doing a good enough job at that. Between being tired and editing videos and bouncing back and forth between multiple different tasks, I could see how I could neglect leaving behind thoughts verbally. It's gone on to my seats retrace. One of two instances is going to happen. Either A, it's got to go up into this and it'll flip through, or it'll strongly react to this and then move much further down, which I don't think it will. Based on its current movement behavior, it doesn't look like it's going to be strongly reacting to the opposite side. Let's say opposite side. Strongly reacting in the reverse trend. Sorry. It could very well strongly react to the opposite side of the value area. Yeah. I think it's going to go higher. Come down to retest this area right here with this bouncer. And that's like right on the edge of it. Strong react up, and I go long. Strong react down, continuous down, and below the SMA, I go short. Although long is what I'm looking at. Yep, going long. Right. Do I think it'll stop here? Genuinely, I don't know. The likelihood of it continuing higher is here. There's plenty of volume for it to go up with. There's plenty of movement down. It could continue down and stop us out almost immediately. Trend says down, volume says up. I'm looking at a slight barrier here, and I don't know if it'll clip beyond this or not. I don't want to take that risk. I think I'm good right where I am. I don't want to change this. This is a good trade. I entered based on the fact that we had a retest of the SMA, and it's not necessarily clipping below it. It's meeting some very, very high resistance right here. And even if it does clip below it, it's got to come down to a certain degree. And then because of how much volume there is in the way, I'm expecting there to be some driving force to push it even higher. Because again, this is the reaction to market open. Having an engulfing candle of any kind is going to pretty much support the move up. So from here, I'm looking primarily for price to reverse, not quickly in the opposite direction, but reverse enough to go up into the green for a longer period of time. I think this is a valid trade. The idea is solid. At my discretion, I took this trade at a fairly high point on purpose. It's like I'm wrong. Too sharp a decline is going to continue higher. Okay, I'm confident in that trade. I can't think of anything else I really need to say. I mean, I've pretty much laid it out. Volume is seriously suggesting that price could continue higher. Trend is saying lower. There's a serious amount of resistance right here. By comparison, MACD, like if I were to use it as an indicator, MACD is saying that price action is currently a false positive. Like this is a false signal that it's not going to continue lower, but because of this engulfing candle, we could see it continue higher. And we are above the SMA here, so, or the EMA, sorry. We get stopped out, we get stopped out, no biggie. Conflicting signals across the entire chart. Wouldn't be surprised if I lost this trade. However, I'm pretty confident in the direction the market wants to go in based on my own bias and generally volume. However, with this big a move, it makes me want to push the take profit up even more. The only scary part is this volume node here, because this range essentially is telling me, hey, yeah, we are potentially going to just stop right here. That's it. Very, very, very indecisive. Making things a little bit more difficult. May have lost this trade. The 1 to 2.43. Triple R is worth it. Can't think of anything else off the top of my head to really say. Good trade. I'll be monitoring it closely. I'm gonna pause the video so that way it's not a long video. But I think we got this. I think it's a good trade. Even if we get stopped out, I'm still positive for the week, so it works. All right, BRB. All right, price is slowly approaching that high volume node I was mentioning before. This one right here. You can see that line right here. Still one node right here. These are the two main lines of issue, because we have a low volume node here that I could easily reject, and then if it decides to clip up beyond this, it's this other range that's a little bit on the scary side. So I'm gonna be watching this like a hawk. I kind of want to take 0.01 out right here, just because that would be enough to be a successful trade. But I also want to see it clip beyond this. The likelihood of it going up higher per the hour right here is very strong. I want to see it do that, do just that. Looks like we met the first one. This was marked because of the high off of this retrace here. This high is that line, as well as the range of this low volume node. Looks like it's clipped up above it. Met it. I expect there to be some retrace. That's fine. Some resistance met. It is a low volume node. I do think it's got more juice. Yeah, 5 5 minutes for this counter to close. I'm going to go ahead, for the sake of it, take 0.01 off. See what happens. I'm going to pause this video. No, I'm going to leave it unpaused. I want to wait for it to do its thing. I want to see if it jumps up across. If it does, I'll pause the video, let it ride the rest of the way. But if we see it reversed, we might make the decision to go ahead and leave this position where it is. Because if it crosses below this line, that'll be my defining factor. Like, this line is the point of control for London session, this recent stuff right here. But if it crosses this line, closes below it, I might cut my losses completely because this is the next available target. And if it clips below this, beyond this low, that's going to be a problem. Here we go. It's bridged the low value gap, which is good. Now we've met the hour, a new range with volume. Do that here. This is on the opposite side of this low volume node and this high volume node right here. This is the point of resistance I had already initially set. It's leaped across, which is exactly what I wanted it to do, but now I've got to see it continue beyond that. But also, it's a minute. It's got to close beyond it for me to successfully and willingly pause this video. 40 seconds for this to close. It's got to close above that blue line. And it's got to continue. There's some resistance there. I'll wait. I'm leaving it on pause too. Just gonna wait. looking at an engulfing candle pattern now. We saw price move high, and that is doing essentially the same thing we had down here, except in a shorter form. We got an engulfing candle of this move up, engulfing candle off of this move down in reverse pattern. So this might be a reversal that we're looking at here. I want to leave this trade. We're in the profit zone. Technically, we could have already hit our final take profit. I moved it higher out of respect for the low volume though. It moving beyond it gave me reason to think, oh, it's definitely going to continue higher. So I moved it. We have 3 minutes for that candle to close. I think I'm going to decide based on that candle. If it closes in the up position closer to our final take profit, I'll leave it alone. But if it closes anywhere near this line right here, anywhere at all near this line, I'm pulling out of the trade completely. Not even going to bother waiting for it to recoup. I'm just going to cut my losses. psychology, man. I'm getting tunnel vision over here. Looking at the red, going, no, 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 I'm almost there, but I've got to wait. I have to wait. Either hit final take profit off of this, or I sit there and I'll go, yep, cutting my losses because I'm not about to have a loss. At least one that's egregious. I will wait. How long it takes. So we hit our final take profit. Today was a very successful trade. We made how much money from this? How much money did we make? We made $80, $90, $1.08. That is more than we've made in a minute. I'm very happy with today's events so far. If you guys enjoyed the video, consider dropping a like and leaving a follow if you're new. If you're on the return, consider sharing the video with someone who might like it. I'm getting better at this, and I'm glad that this week is proof of that enough, to be honest. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.